Bethesda has announced their first ever E3 conference.
I know, that's exciting. And normally it's just the big three developers and maybe EA and Ubisoft doing a conference, but this year we've got Bethesda, and we're gonna take some wild guesses at what they're going to talk about in their conference.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, they sent out, it was a very bare bones email. They sent out a little picture saying, "We're almost ready for our close-up. Save the date, June the 14th, 2015." And then, I mean, the body of the email says that they will have a limited number of tickets will be made available to fans, or you'll be able to watch the whole thing from home via Twitch. But they haven't said anything about what they will actually be showing, so I think it's a safe bet that Fallout 4 will be.
It's been rumoured for a long time. They did have a secret project that entered production back in April 2013, following the launch of Skyrim's final DLC, which everyone has kind of, everyone has said it's got to be Fallout. It has to be Fallout 4, and it's been a long time since we've been in the Fallout universe, and that's the one I think that most people will be keen to see.
Yeah, I don't think it's simply wishful thinking.
A current gen Fallout game with all the graphical upgrades and stuff is going to be jaw-dropping.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really hoping we get to see an extended look at some gameplay.
It was always one of it's one of those rumors that kind of just keeps coming back as well. I mean, it was actually a casting leak for the voice talent. It put the game in a post-apocalyptic version of Boston.
Boston. Okay.
But I mean that was actually quite a while ago now, so that, I mean, that may or may not still be the case. But yeah, I think that's it's kind of a safe bet that might be the centerpiece of the conference. But for my money, I personally I would just quite like to see a Dishonored 2.
A Dishonored 2. Yeah, that would be great.
Because that's another thing that keeps coming back, right? Because I think it was last year's E3, they were someone had faked up these. I don't know if it was a conference, but it was someone had faked up the announcement posters, because they had the thing that kind of rumbled them. I mean, there was, the more you looked at it, the more faults you saw with this little thing, but it was quite convincing. It was like, the Dishonored logo and everything, and then I can't remember what, there was a tagline on it, some quite obscure thing, but they had faked up the Xbox One logo on it and PlayStation 4 and all that sort of stuff. But if you look at it, like, it's against Microsoft's kind of policy to put up the Microsoft logo without the Xbox One logo without the Xbox One text with it, and it was just like, it was very easy to sort of just put to one side after you saw it. But I just think that Arcane have been quiet for a while. They're obviously working on something, and it would be mad for them not to dive back into that.
How did you play Dishonored? Were you stealthy?
I was completely stealthy, and I didn't kill a single person.
See, I killed people, but I was like trying to be like Batman. I stalk the roofs but then come down.
It was hard. I got the clean hands trophy, and it was tough not being seen, like having to restart every time.
Now, one game
I'm not a patient person, like.
Well, I just love kicking people off the buildings, to be honest. But one game you won't get a achievement for not killing people in would be the new Doom game, if they show any of that off. Now, Doom 4, it was originally pitched as, I think, but now they've dropped the 4 and they've said it's going to be more of a reboot of the whole series. So they did show off Doom footage a while back at QuakeCon, but it was to a closed audience, so it was special ticket holders of QuakeCon, a few select press, and they didn't stream the footage. They didn't release it afterwards. So all we got was text write-ups about what they saw in this gameplay. A lot of people said it looked like quite linear levels, but it could have just been for the preview build. But they said it was very fast-paced, similar to the style of the first Doom rather than the survival horror of Doom 3. And there was things like double jumps and the same kind of big beast weapons. So Doom Reboot, I'm definitely expecting them to show gameplay for, because they've kept it under wraps.
It's id Tech 6, right? And it's all next gen and PC.
Yes.
Yeah. I suppose they will talk about the Elder Scrolls Online. Has that game got much of a buzz around it?
I don't. Will the console version be out by then? Because they might show off some console stuff if it's not out by then. But to be honest, I'm not sure there's any buzz behind Elder Scrolls Online.
Maybe that's more a reason for them to talk about it.
Maybe they could generate some buzz, maybe. Yeah. But I think if if there was going to be a low point or a lull in this conference, I think it would be anything about Elder Scrolls Online. Most other games will have people on the edge of their seats with announcements, but I think a lot of people will just be like...
At the same time, I mean, any mention of the Elder Scrolls is bound to pick up a few years. I mean, even if it isn't the Elder Scrolls 6, then...
Yeah, they'll be like, and now, the Elder Scrolls 6 online console.
Maybe we're being too mean. I haven't actually played it, so I can't pass too much judgment. I think anything less than Elder Scrolls 6 is bound to be a little bit of a disappointment.
I played a bit of it, but it was a bit too sterile and just didn't seem to have the charm of the standalone, the solo games.
I suppose, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out, but I think, for my money, it's, wishful thinking maybe again, but Fallout 4 and Dishonored 2 and...
I've got money on Doom for definite, and Fallout 4 is the one I really want, but I'll believe it when I see it. And don't you guys be shy to let us know what you want to see at Bethesda's E3 showcase in the comments below. And as always, for more on Eurogamer, don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking that button.
And give us a like as well if you fancy it. Bye!
Bye!